Hey, John Horn here with episode 11 of WIP Wednesday. Hey, so I'm going to cut right to the chase. We're going to get right to it. This is a subject matter, a topic that I hold very near and dear to my heart. And the reason why I hold it so close to my heart is because for so long, I was a failure at it. I was bad at it. I was terrible at it. And that was showing other people respect and care before they show me respect and care. So let me repeat that. Show them respect and care where they're at, where they live, what their circle is, what they have going on, before they respect and care for me. You know, and basically it comes down to, you know, the life example that I have was I entered the workplace at 21 years old, and for a long time I was a self-proclaimed introvert. At times I still use those words, and I shouldn't because I don't think anyone per se is an introvert. I do think everyone has different personalities, but to be a self-proclaimed introvert, you know, I was like, well, you know, I don't like to talk to people and I don't like to put myself out there. You know what? They have their thing going on. I have my thing going on. You do yours, I do mine. You leave me alone, I leave you alone, and we'll go about our daily activities, about our daily lives. You know, I didn't per se care about anybody. It was very, very difficult for me to use the word love other than for family members, you know, spouse, parents, you know, sisters. I didn't use those words to other people. You know, I didn't say, you know, I love you, you know, I love you unconditionally, you know, I love you, you know, where you're at. Now, over the course of time, I do, but it's still an uncomfortable feeling. And it was just how I was brought up. It was how I was raised, you know. So, you know, I was taught, you know, personally to, you know, keep people at arm's length. You know, don't let them in too close. You let them in too close and you start caring for them, well, man, they're going to break your heart. You know, they're going to tear you down. You know, mentally, you know, conditionally, they're going to tear you down. You know, if you let them in too deep. So, enter the workplace at 21. You know, about 9.5 years later, I got a leadership role. I was promoted to a leadership role, a supervisory role, and still had the same mentality. You know, didn't really respect people, didn't really care for them. We were all there. We were paid to do a job. You do your job, I'll do my job. And I knew what everyone was supposed to do. So if they didn't do it, I was more or less there to say, hey, you done this wrong. We need to do it this way. And I was very, very poor at coaching and instructing and guiding, you know, saying, you know, hey, I understand what happened, but this is what we need to do next time. You know, I was bad, terrible at it. So, you know, one of the other topics I want to talk about, I want to mix into this, is being mentored and personal development. And, you know, during those, you know, up until the time I was 21 or even the next 10 years, me personally, I didn't work on personal development. You know, I worked on, you know, my skills and abilities, you know, my technical skills in the workplace, but not per se, you know, my personal development as how I, you know, related to people. So, you know, moving on, you know, leadership role, supervisory role, I was assigned to a different department, and it was different, you know. So for the next 8 months, it was rough, and the reason why it was rough was because it was a department, it was an environment in which you had to be more personally interactive. And again, I keep saying it, I was terrible at being personally interactive with other people. With society. You know, I hadn't really been through a whole lot of hardships in my life. I'd been through a few, but again, you know, I was born and raised to be calloused to emotional expression, and I didn't emotionally express myself. And there's still at times, you know, that I don't. But you know, as I continued to move forward, I was like, there's a disconnect, somewhere. Why can we not get over this hump? Why can we not, get over this, this bump in the road? And the reason why was because I wasn't reflecting upon myself and respecting and caring for the individuals that worked with me in what they had going on in their life. So individuals, everyone has something going on. You just name it, finances, divorce, struggles in relationship, kids, kids age, 16 years old, getting the driver's license, our kids entering the workplace, bad accidents, the list goes on and on, cancers, bad health, name it. You can name all the adversities that we come into contact with throughout the course of our life. So whenever I started reflecting upon myself as to, okay, what do we need to do to step forward, it was that I need to respect and care for them where they're at in order to do a job that, maybe we don't want to do it today. Maybe we don't. And I know people that have a different perspective, they frown upon those words. I get it. I understand. But reality is such. Things happen in people's lives. There's times to where, we wake up in the morning and we don't want to get up. We got aches, pains, we have things on our mind, we had, restless sleep, we was up all night, thinking about insert subject matter here. It happens. It's reality. So I challenge you to do that. If you're in a place to where, why can't or why isn't people doing what I ask them to do, or I have bad relationships going on in my life, are you respecting and caring for the individual where they are without them showing the same favor back to you? That's the challenge. And that's hard for us, because if you don't respect me, I'm not going to respect you. I challenge you again. Don't look at it that way. Respect and care for them regardless of where they're at. There's a quote, there's a saying, outlast the cynic. The cynics are negative. They're going to throw darts at you. They're going to try to pound on you. Respect and care for them where they're at. Be empathetic with their feelings. Understand and listen to them where they're at. If it's even a child or an adult, hey, we need to do this. Explain to them. Explain to them your viewpoint to get them to understand what you're asking for, and then listen to them. Then, after you listen to them, accommodate them. Accommodate them the best that you can. Okay? If you can accommodate them the best that you can in the manner or in the matter that's going on, then we'll see what happens from there. But that's a big one. So man, strive to get a mentor. Strive to get a mentor in a perspective of personal development, and to look at people as, people. Look at people as people, because they are. Sometimes we want to use them as pawns. Pawns on a table. Man, come on. We're more adult than that. Okay? So, people live through different situations throughout their life, different circumstances. Things happen. There is times to where we don't want to do what we need to do, but sometimes we just need someone to respect and care for us where we're at for us to move forward. So that's the big one. I could elaborate on that topic all day long. I have multiple examples. It doesn't matter if it's a football team, sports team, athletics, basketball, little league baseball. I've been intertwined with it, throughout the course, the last, several years. From a professional perspective, respect and care for people. People matter, things don't. Whenever you place that topic in, people matter, things don't, it helps us look at life differently. It helps us look at people differently. It helps us understand that, people go through bad times and bad things, but yet, you know, we still have a lifetime to live. So I'm going to finish it with that. So WIP Wednesday, episode 11, John Horn. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'm out.